Hey there, nurses, healthcare professionals, and others in caring professions. I have a little something I'd like to share with you. I'm Jackie Thomas. I'm a coach supporting people in caring professions to break free from burnout, to find peace, passion, and purpose. Today, I want to share with you why going to yoga or trying meditation along with other practices sometimes don't work. Sure, they can give you some immediate relief, which is great and very needed for certain circumstances. I'd like to share with you what my coach had done when working with me. I'd like to think of myself as a person who is determined, ambitious, willing to try new things, and make things work. I entered into a coaching agreement to get some help as I was feeling stuck and I didn't know what to do. I felt lost, out of sorts, physically exhausted, and I felt like I couldn't even rest. Plus, I had lots of aches and pains and headaches to go along with that. Not to mention, my sleep was often restless and short. I thought that if I started meditating and going to yoga, it would be something different. I could do something to support my well-being. I had heard of a lot of great things about them, and I really wanted to make a change. My coach told me, though, that she really wanted me to just hold off on the yoga. I did start to slowly practice some meditation, little bits at a time, but here's the thing. I believe that we are born with a clean slate. We are perfect little beings, and when we come into this world and take our first breath, and then another, and another, and another, and so it goes, life has begun. So come with me as I want to show you something outside. I've got some things outside to help me explain what this is all about. Oh, I gotta leave my girls inside. So, this is what I've got here, okay? So here I have a bucket, okay? You can see this bucket here represents our life. And then I have this little car here, or truck. It's pretty small. And it represents the experiences and holds on to them for a while. How long? Well, that's up to you. See, life is happening, and we are born, and we breathe, and we cry. Our loving parents come to us and hold us when we cry. They clean us up and when we're soiled, and we feed our bellies and so on. They teach us their ways of good and bad, and they teach us manners, and we learn how to be and how to live life as we watch their every move. Do you have a dog? Have you noticed that your dog follows you everywhere you go? They want to be with you, and they are learning your every single move. Now, children do the exact same thing. They are watching their parents' every single move, and they are learning from this. Then we have siblings, right? So we learn from our siblings. So this is life, okay? We have life happening. And then there are religions that we learn from if our parents incorporated that as a part of their life. And there's also school that we learn from. So my dirt here is just representing what we have in our lives, okay? We also have school. School is another avenue in which we are learning, and it's not just about learning certain subjects. We learn what is acceptable, what is good enough, and what is not. We have even bigger peer groups that we are exposed to their way of living, which may be different from ours. Different from what we know to this point. We accept all of this as truth when we are children. And some children learn that there is absolutely plenty to go around for everyone, while others, they learn that there is never enough. They wanted to get that thing from the store like their friends had, but there wasn't enough money. And some kids go to school without food because there's just not enough. And how many times do we hit that snooze button because we don't feel like there's enough time? Then comes the years of adolescence. This is where we have more and more experiences and we resist our parents' way of living to learn how to be in this world without them. That is to say, you are simply learning how to be an individual person separate from your parents. We start to take on and adapt to our friends and determine our own way if we are given the space to do so. And some teens, they are not given that space, but they are held back because their parents, they're fearful, and they are fearful for their children's safety. That fear usually is the culprit that prevents us from so many good things in life. So this is what's happening as life is happening and we're learning about all of these things. Some of that includes experiences that are undesirable, such as, your mom, her sister has been unwell for most of your life. So your mom was not as present for you as maybe she could have been because she was always concerned about her sister and her sister's well-being. And perhaps you're shy, so making friends is challenge. And you experience, the death of a pet. Okay, and perhaps you received an art scar because your teacher gave you a D on your piece of art, and you put a lot of time and effort into it, creating that. So it was really hard for you when you got a D. So you learn that art isn't your thing, or maybe you learn that you aren't good enough. And there are also great things that happen too, right? So we just keep piling that on. And you graduated from a high school. You also won an award for winning that spelling bee, and you made your parents so proud. And you went to college or university and you completed your program, which you thought just might be the end of you. But perhaps you got married and you started your own family, and all of these things, life just keeps adding up. So when we go to yoga, or we are going to try and meditate, we have all of these experiences and we're just skimming off the top, right? We're taking off of the top, but there's still lots on here. Life adds up, and there are a lot of emotional experiences here. And if you're in a human body, you're going to experience a plethora of emotions. So here's the part why starting the regimen like yoga and meditation sometimes doesn't work. Because as you could see, life is happening and this truck here is overflowing, right? And it's hard, and it's worth it because you feel better after you go to class and you just skim off the top there. But it's not taking the load away, right? So then you go again, and then you can take a little bit more off, right? Because life has happened. And then you try your hand at meditation. You try to take off a little bit more. And it's giving you some relief, and you still feel a little bit on edge. So we're trying new things, just trying to take a little bit off. But the stress and the weight of the past is still there. So what I am suggesting is this tool that my coach used for me that is called QTR. Now, QTR does this with your bucket of life. Like this. All the emotion and the weight of the past is released, just like they sing in Frozen. Let it go, let it go. And that is what the modality QTR can do. It is simply context-free modality that releases the weight of the past. This is not to say that you won't feel again or your memories are gone. That is far from the truth. What happens is releasing the negative emotions from the nervous system, allowing yourself to reset and regulate your nervous system. It is making space. So when you when you are engaged in other practices that support your well-being, they will have a greater effect for you. And remember, life is still going to happen. You're still going to have experiences, and this is still going to fill up, okay? And so when you find that life is getting heavy and perhaps too hot to handle, a round of QTR will support you in letting go of all the heaviness you give, giving you space to create more for yourself in your life. So if you feel this would be of value to you, let's connect. You can reach me at jackiethomascoaching@gmail.com, or you can find me on Facebook at Jackie Thomas-Krasinowski Coaching and Consulting. And you can also find me on Instagram at jackie.thomas_coaching. I hope you find this was helpful, and I would love to connect with you.